Hey everybody, Johnny T here, and I wanted to talk about Timex watches for a moment. So, Timex watches are probably one of the most worn watch brands I think I have ever seen. Um, I go to a lot of garage sales and I go to a lot of thrift stores, and whenever I hang out with family, even when if I go out and eat and I see somebody wearing a watch, I'll ask them about their watch and we'll have a conversation about it. And more times than not, I see Timex being worn, and it's usually being worn by older gentlemen. But I know a lot of very intelligent men who choose Timex. And these are engineers or software developers used to work at IBM or aerospace engineers, and a lot of them wear a Timex um, with Indiglo. And it's usually, if it is an analog watch, it's usually got a big face and the numbers are big so they can read it. And it made me wonder, maybe a collection of Timex watches is actually worth pursuing. And Timex has been around for a very long time. I want to say they've been around since like the 1850s. I think they used to be called the Waterbury Watch Company or something along that line, or Waterbury Clock Company perhaps. But Timex has been around for a very long time, and it just goes to show you don't need to spend a lot of money in order to collect watches. And there are several different models of Timex watches that you can collect. There is the Weekender, the Expedition, the Ironman, the Marlin, the Waterbury collection, and the Timex Q collection. So there, and that's just the name of some of the more popular models. And I think some of the most expensive Timex watches, like if you wanted to get a reissue Marlin, that is, I believe they're hand wine. I think you're gonna pay around 150-ish for that, maybe a little more depending on condition. So I think if you had a nice collection of Timex watches, it would be probably a well-rounded collection, and I'd argue that you probably don't need any other watch other than a Timex. They take a licking and keep on ticking, and like I said, there's I know a lot of people who know a lot more about watches than I do who wear a Timex, so who have done cooler things in their lives than I probably ever will. So I want to go over some of these different models just to kind of show them off. So these are the different weekender models that you could buy on eBay right now. You could get any of these, and they're extremely cheap. 45 dollars. A lot of these are brand new. Some of them are pre-owned. Like this is a brand new watch, and you can still pick these up at Target, brand new for, yeah. And I think even Walmart probably has some of these models, and they're very inexpensive and they look great, and they're usually a good case size, 38 millimeter. And this is your typical um, field watch, and this has Indiglo, and it comes with a NATO. And what's not to like about that? And it's so affordable, and it looks great, and it has the best loom you could ever ask for. As in, it doesn't even have loom; it has Indiglo. And I can't think of a more um, what's sort of looking for. I can't think of a watch technology that makes reading in low light conditions better than Indiglo. Yeah, it drains the battery. Some of these Timexes come with huge coin cells though, and they still last a long time even if you use Indiglo. So yeah, you could pick up a Weekender. This is the Weekender model, right? Yeah, for $50. So there you go. There's your field watch with Indiglo. So now you have that covered, and they have 38 millimeter, which is a great case size. And then we could come over to the Expedition. So the Expedition is a bit more rugged. It's usually got a stainless steel case, has that field watch look to it. I think this is kind of the it's the more serious version of the Weekender in my mind. And they can go up in price a little bit. So maybe you're looking at, well, I mean, a lot of these are still going for 40, 50, $60. Over 2,000 of these are sold. This is an analog digital watch, probably has a rotating bezel as well. Sometimes these bezels are for show, but like 43 bucks will get you a watch that looks like that. Um, this watch right here, this chronograph, is an amazing looking watch, and it's $65. And now you have a chronograph that's kind of in the style of a military watch. And I don't know if these ones have Indiglo or not. It does have Indiglo. There you go. Amazing value. Um, Beautiful watch, and it comes with what looks like a leather strap. That's also a NATO. I don't know how you could get any better than that, honestly, for $65. What a great watch. Um, so for like $120, you got two watches there. And then if you need something for the gym, you have the Timex Ironman. These are fantastic digital watches. I don't see these worn as much as they just have like standard digital watches. I can't remember what they're called, but they're like, just a Timex digital watch. And those are the ones I see being worn a lot. But these Ironman watches are fantastic if you just want to. I think they usually have 100 meters to 200 meters water resistance. They do a lot of things a basic G-Shock does. They just don't look as cool, but they're not as big either. These are small watches. I want to say they're like 34 millimeter, generally speaking. So, and they're really cheap. Look at how inexpensive these are. 20 bucks, 30 bucks, $40, and you now have a Timex Ironman. You have your gym watch. Um, and these are, I've owned a couple of these, and they work pretty well. They're good watches. And then we have the Marlin. So this is your dress watch. This is a classic watch that has been around for a very long time. Timex has a lot of these different kinds of watches. You're going to pay a little bit more depending on the model. Some of these are vintage, obviously. But you can pick up a Marlin reissue, like I said, for like 150, maybe 200. Or you can get a vintage one if it's been. I mean, I doubt a lot of these have been serviced because it might be a bit too expensive to service a Timex. But I mean, you're spoiled for options. If you want to spend a little bit more, I mean, you could get this Peanuts version for $600, which is very collectible. And they just the styles go on and on. But if you just want mechanical hand wind, and I think some of these are even automatic, Marlin. There you go. You're spoiled for options. Now here's one. This is an automatic Marlin, yeah, so $200, and you have a good dress watch. But yeah, there you go. So you have four watches there. And what do we at? We're at like what, 350 maybe, 350 or 400. So and then you have the Waterbury, which feels kind of like, I guess it could go either way. It's kind of like a field watch. I would say it's definitely more fieldy, but I guess some of them do have more of that dress look to them. But you're spoiled for choice this year. The prices are going up a little bit, 70s, 90s, 80s for the Waterburys. So, but I mean, you can't really go wrong with these watches. They tell the time. Their batteries last forever, and I think some of these. Yeah, so the Waterbury is more of that is I think most of these are mechanical and automatic, but it does seem like some of them have Indiglo and are also quartz. But these you're going to pay a bit more for a Waterbury and a Marlin. And then the last one is the Timex Q, and again, these ones you're going to pay a bit more for as well. So you got $100 here, 200 there, but look at how many people are watching these. Like people are interested in these watches, and people do buy them, and they are nice looking watches. It's a beautiful vintage look to these. I want to say that might be from the 60s or 70s, something like that. Um, these are all iconic, well made, good watches that can round out any collection. And for the price of one Swiss automatic watch from a decent brand like an Oris or something, you can have probably one of each of these from Timex and have a complete collection of their most popular models. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that because I think Timex. When we think about a watch, a lot of people just want it to tell time, and they want it to be easy to read, and the Indiglo function is great, especially when your eyesight's not so good. So when you think about a good watch with a good history, that is actually very popular still and very iconic, and still widely worn, Timex, especially in America. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of talk about that, and I'm also testing out some new equipment, so yeah, I wanted to do a video on something just to kind of see how it all looks. And yeah, if this was interesting to you, feel free to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you all in the next one. Take it easy.